Mech, I'm a mech. Galak-Z is a top-down shoot-'em-up that does its damnedest to pay homage to the space animes of old. Everything from the art to the tropes that you'll find make it pretty clear that the developers at 17-bit not only know their source material, but absolutely love the genres that they're paying tribute to. In Galak-Z, you play as the young and cocky ATAC. The last surviving member of his squadron, he's found in the middle of space by Beam, the commander of a ship for the Rebellion. The two team up and search the galaxy for a way to free their systems and defeat the Alliance. Along the way, you'll pick up power-ups and new abilities for your ship, including the ability to turn into a Gundam. Hell yes! There are two difficulty settings for Galak-Z, and you choose the one that you want to play when you start up the game. There's Arcade Mode, which gives you a checkpoint at the end of each mission, making it easy enough to progress through without losing too much progress when you inevitably get turned into space dust. And then there's Rogue, which only gives you a checkpoint at the end of every 5 missions. In neither mode do you recover health between missions. You can sometimes find repairs in the shop that you access before going out on whatever mission, but in my experience, they're few and far between. You can also get them as loot out in missions, but again, it's very rare. While health itself is hard to gain back, you have a shield that can take a few hits and, after some time without taking damage, will recharge back to full. You can also find overcharge upgrades in the shop that'll give you an extra temporary shield charge. The difficulty of regaining health is a bit of a pain early on, but once you find overcharges and get the abilities to dodge and strafe, it becomes less of an issue as you're able to actually maneuver around enemy shots and you can avoid getting hit. Now, as you'd expect, as a mech, you've got different abilities. Instead of dodging, you have a shield that can block a few hits from the front while you have it active. Instead of lasers, you have a huge sword that can slash quickly in front of you, or it can be charged and released to dash forward and do some extra damage. The kicker, though, is the ability to grab almost anything, including enemies, and launch them around. You can launch enemies with down shields into walls or other enemies to blow them up. It is supremely satisfying. Controls are definitely difficult to get used to. The left and right movement, once you have the strafe upgrade, is based on where your ship is pointed. That is to say, it's tied to thrusters on the sides of your ship instead of always moving you left or right. This can be really awkward, especially when you're in the middle of a big firefight. Missions are sorted into seasons, kind of like a TV show, and at the start of each level, you get information for who wrote it, much like at the beginning of a TV show. At the end of a season, you get a cute little credits segment. I honestly dig the old school TV aesthetic that they've gone for throughout the menus, and I think it works really well. The only strange thing I noticed about the season system is that you don't keep your upgrades between seasons. By the end of season 1, I had a handful of different beams, room for more missiles, and I had some temp shields saved up. When I loaded into the first mission of season 2, however, I noticed that it was all gone. This was a huge letdown. I was expecting to continue upgrading my ship and getting more and more badass. I mean, since I don't restore health between missions, you'd think upgrades would stick in order to make harder levels more fair and balanced, but you just lose everything. It was really jarring to get the badass mech ability, only to find out that my ship was back to having that wimpy little starting laser. This is the biggest flaw that Galak-Z has, by far. Galak-Z has a few key features, like being able to transform into a space mech or the swappable upgrade system that distinguish itself from your average shmup. To be honest, it just doesn't need much more than that to make itself stand out thanks to the ridiculously awesome art style, during missions at least. When you're on a mission, the work that's gone into the art really shines through. 3D models are cel-shaded and vibrant, and any and all explosions, lasers, smoke trails, yada yada yada, are all hand-animated and at a lower frame rate than the rest of the game. The effect this creates makes everything pop, and just serves more towards bringing in the retro and anime vibes that 17-bit is making bleed through every pixel. Now, if you've got a keen ear, you'll notice that I said the art shines in missions. Pretty much anytime there's a person on screen and they're talking or moving, the animations just look weird. It looks like 17-bit used a puppet system for animating, and the facial animations just look out of sync and strange. I can't say it's bad because it's not horrendous or anything, but it certainly feels very out of place and it's quite jarring. That said, that's a pretty small thing to be bothered by, and there aren't any other issues besides the not keeping upgrades thing that I mentioned that I have with the game. As a side note, the soundtrack is A++. The work done on it is just pure brilliance. It perfectly matches the era and tone that Galak-Z is trying to emulate, and it's the first soundtrack in a while that I'm considering buying the vinyl edition of. Galak-Z is a blast from the past with modern graphics and tech. It's fun fun, nostalgic, gorgeous, and did I mention that it's fun? You can find Galak-Z on Steam for about $20. If you like shmups, space, or 80s era anime, then this is one for you to dig into. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you have any indie games that I should check out, then please shoot them my way. You can leave a comment down below, or you can drop me a line on Twitter. My handle's @forkh, or you can shoot me an email at fork4h@gmail.com. I'll see you next time. Bye!